All right, it's gonna take a few minutes for people to hop on here. So we'll just wait a second. I'll eat my yogurt. Whee! See you soon. Love that. Make sure. Yep, we are live on Twitter. Go ahead and open a Rumble tab. Move tab to new window. And cool. All right. All right, we're letting everyone hop in here. Hey, Zio. Oh, thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna post it on locals too. How's your night going, friend? Yeah, we didn't do a no buffer tonight. We're just jumping right in. We are. Just here. Good. We're gonna give it like a few more minutes just to make sure everyone gets here. And you know, I do know. King Onion Ring commented earlier, said, "See you then." Well, I don't see him. Where he at? Where he at? So hopefully all our usuals will hop in here. We have a special guest tonight. Very excited. I got Rumble open just in case. We get some chats over there. I got my yogurt.
Yogurt!
Not a party without the yogurt. Yeah, he's totally FI. What does that mean? What's FI? Is this new slang? Is this Canadian slang? I don't know. You Canadian. Don't make me Google something. You know what happens when I do that. Oh, false information. All right, 2 more minutes and then we will dive right in. I'm very, very excited, you guys. Let's see. Okay. Good, everything is working. And Rumble is still slow as shit. Why is Rumble so slow? Note to self, don't stream and eat. We gotta have our snacks, guys. All right. Well, shall we go for it? Like Celine Dion. Checking all my stuffs. Zio, where is everybody? Get them in here. It is Thursday. Everybody's waiting for the freaking weekend. All right. Well, guys, as everyone's coming on, if you didn't watch the episode on Tuesday, we discussed The Devil Wears Prada and how it relates to, you know, calling all personnel. How it relates to body shaming today, because back then it really wasn't a thing. Vamp Fashions, my friend. Yeah, you need to be here. How it relates to current culture now, which we have the body positivity movement and, body shaming. That was not a thing back in the day, and how now it's a thing to actually shame medical professionals and having, fat friendly doctors' offices that allow obesity because they don't want to address it themselves, the person that is obese. So we're just going to touch on some of the details tonight from the video because I quoted a friend of mine who is an expert in fitness. She's a fitness professional. Her name is Nikki Larock, and we are going to welcome her to the show tonight. Welcome!
Hi!
Hi, friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. My light keeps changing colors, and I don't know it has a life of its own tonight. So
keep it interesting. Keep them guessing.
Yes, yeah. Keeping it interesting. So first of all, we kind of chatted beforehand, guys, but I'm just going to tell her again. Thank you so much for, giving me your input for my episode and my content. I love to collab with people and get, especially somebody as, knowledgeable in this field like you are, to get an expert's opinion. So just tell us about yourself, what you do, and all the things, your background, your expertise.
Of course. So, my name is Nikki. I am a certified personal trainer, nutrition specialist, all the certifications, corrective exercise specialist, behavior change specialist. I've been in fitness for 15 years now. I've been in the fitness industry. That's actually how we met.
Yes.
We were both on a national trainer team for a major fitness brand. So that's how we met. I think we were both body combat. Yes.
Yeah.
The mixed martial arts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, So that's how I got started in fitness, was in group fitness and classes. And then eventually just, kept digging deeper, and that's where I am now. So now that's what I do for work. I'm a full-time fitness coach, nutrition coach, teaching people how to, live in their healthiest, strongest bodies.
Love that. And where are you located?
So I'm Northern Virginia. I'm just outside of the DC metro area.
Very cool. And you do online courses too? You do online training, or you do one-on-ones and stuff?
Yeah. So the majority of my clients are all virtual. So I assign training programs and nutrition targets and, tasks and reminders and all those things via my app. And then, I'll take one-to-one in-person clients on a very, select basis.
Select.
Mm-hmm.
She's that high profile, guys. She gets a select. So if you are a select client, you must be special. I'm just kidding. So I remember, yes, it's funny because did we actually meet at a summit? Because I don't know if we actually ever did in person.
I don't think that we did.
I don't.
But you did sing in the talent show. I think you sang a Bruno Mars song, and I was impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, that was needless to say, a little bit of a shit show that night. I think there were a few people that had a little too much to drink that night.
A handful.
But yes, Nikki and I used to, like she mentioned, work for a big global fitness brand, and on the US team of that global fitness brand. And that is how we initially got connected. And I have followed her ever since, and have actually watched your journey grow from that to where you are now. And it's just been so impressive what you've done, not only with yourself physically, but to see your knowledge truth bombs that you drop on your Instagram. I'm like, I never thought of it that way. So if you don't follow her, we'll make sure that we drop all of that towards the end, and where you can find her. And if you want to work with her, we'll drop that too. So in the video, you gave me some really good stuff, because I think I reached out and I just said thoughts on the body positivity movement.
And I sent 5 paragraphs. It's
yeah, you're like, oh, I've got thoughts. And I was like, drop them. Let's go.
Hit me. Let's
Hit me. And some of the ones that I I did use were, so I'm just going through my notes. The ones that I liked were the one you said 8 out of 10 Americans do not meet basic physical activity guidelines.
Yes, yes. So that's accurate. Or at least it was accurate as of, I was writing content for businesses and their wellness programs a year or so ago. So that's when I started digging deep into all of these stats and all of these things about just how endemic this issue is to society. But yeah, 8 out of 10 Americans, and we're talking like older teens and adults, don't meet basic physical activity guidelines. So we're not talking like you should be resistance training and cardiovascular training. We're talking like you should move your body roughly this much in any given week.
Right. Like walking,
yeah. Call it 30 minutes of moderate activity most days out of the week.
Yeah, because I think the thing that really scares people away, especially nowadays, is they think that they have to jump right into like CrossFit or some sort of high intensity interval training program versus just, hey, start slow, start moderately, just go for a 30-minute walk around your neighborhood.
Yeah, walking is wildly underrated as it comes to like body composition management and weight management. And I'm sure I'm like ready to go with the exercise science. But no, people who walk a lot, they live longer. They tend to be leaner. They tend to have better blood sugar control, all of those things.
Yeah, I walk every day. Every day. I love it.
There's no reason not to. There's no reason not to.
It's good mentally. You kind of decompress. You throw on a podcast, throw on music, and just like go thoughtlessly walk around and decompress.
Yeah, and it's also movement without any stress, without inducing any stress. Like high intensity exercise, it induces stress to create change, but it still induces stress. So walking has all those amazing benefits, but with all of the stress control benefits as well.
Yes. Someone said, "Hi, Nikki."
Hello.
And then he said, "I walk at work." Hey,
perfect.
Get your steps in. That's okay.
Perfect. I tell people to pace during phone calls, take a lap around the office. It's the way to do it.
Yeah. And then another point I found this fascinating was that death from chronic lifestyle influenced illnesses outpaces deaths from infectious illnesses.
Yes.
So can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. That was specifically something that caught my attention when the business I worked for at the time was kind of helping businesses with their return to the office initiatives and all the like fear and pushback that was happening around those initiatives. And it was all this fear over this illness, that was newer to us. But the illnesses that we should be concerned about and should be afraid of are the illnesses that are influenced by our lifestyle factors. So, and those lifestyle factors even make us more susceptible to infectious illness. But illnesses like heart disease and diabetes and all of these things have now started to outpace infectious illness. So if you think 100 years ago, 200 years ago, people were dying from, the bubonic plague and, all these illnesses, all these things that you come into contact with. But that's not the case anymore. It's not things that we're coming into contact with. It's how we're choosing to manage our lifestyle factors.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. So instead of like a contagious illness, say for instance, the vid or black lung.
Yes. Yeah.
Bird flu, things like that. It's literally how you are choosing to live your life. Yeah. So, I mean,
not moving, not eating well. Just basically chosen exposures versus acute illness exposures.
Right. Oh God, that's so fascinating. And it's awful. And we don't, what show I think kind of helped a little bit in this kind of obesity epidemic was The Biggest Loser. Do you remember that?
I remember The Biggest Loser.
Yeah. And it went on for a long time too. And then all of a
It
sudden,
was on for a long stretch. Yeah.
a very long time. And then all of a sudden, it just went away. Now, I mean, granted, we have countless amounts of reality competition television shows now, but I feel like, did it go away because we're getting away from addressing the problem of obesity and the fact that it is a disease?
Have you seen the stats on that show for the after what happened to contestants after they left the show?
No.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly, but most of the contestants who participated on that show lost tremendous amounts of weight while on the show.
Yeah,
For the most part, they all gained it back.
I can see that.
Um, right, and part of that, and I think part of the issue, kind of on the whole, is just attacking it with this. I think you mentioned it earlier, this like aggressive, all or nothing, like you're in or you're out, you're first or you're last, like type of approach. And people think that that's what's required
Yeah,
to live a healthy life, and it's really not what's required. So it's a real lack of just kind of education and knowledge, which we know we're not given, via the media, via our school systems, via any of these things. We just don't know how our bodies work, unfortunately.
right. And so the rebound effect from The Biggest Loser, that actually kind of reminds me of things I've heard about Ozempic.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So Ozempic and semaglutide and some of those other medications, peptides, things of that nature. Yeah, it's whenever you introduce something to your body that, takes over a function or aids in a function or whatever, um, and then you take that stimulus away, you take that thing away, like the rebound is always going to be intense for sure. It's like going, I did this on my Instagram the other day. It's like going on a really strict low carb diet, and
Yeah.
then you eat a couple carbs and the scale jumps 10 pounds, right? Like there's always, for every action, an equal and opposite reaction, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And because I was asking a nurse practitioner about Ozempic, and because it's become to me recreational. It's not even like a need to know type thing anymore. Like everyone knows about it, everybody wants it, everyone wants a piece of it, and then you have these doctors that are giving it out like candy to people that don't actually need it. And I've heard and read that it can do awful things to your liver. The rebound effect is awful. Like you gain it all back and then some if it's something that you're not meant to be treated with. Because I know that it was originally used for diabetes with obese patients.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, and then also the side effects affect everyone differently. So I've read things like it was making some women, vomit uncontrollably, that they were losing their teeth because of it.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've heard of all kinds of things too, like complete paralysis of the digestive tract, and all kinds of things. Yeah. So, I mean, our bodies are incredible, and what's amazing about our bodies is that they will literally do anything we ask them to do if we ask them repeatedly enough. Right? They'll make
Yeah.
any adaptation. They'll make any changes. So there are absolutely people who need access to these medications. There are absolutely people who need other interventions for different issues. But for most of us, our bodies are capable of adapting to what we ask them to do.
Yeah, I think it's a pharmaceutical thing where people think that they need some sort of treatment or some sort of medication to help with some sort of ailment. Where if you just move your body the way that we did, back before we had all these types of medicinals, that's the way they did it back then. So what's any different now? It's just the fact that we have all this access to like fast food. We have access to McDonald's and Taco Bell, and then living this sedentary lifestyle because we're on the go, 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 go all the time. And we don't make lifestyle changes to make time for the things that will essentially make us live longer and,
Yeah.
be happier and healthier for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
downside of convenience. We get so accustomed to convenient access and quick access and easy access, that anything that doesn't feel that way just feels so arduous, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And so just to kind of dive into the like body shaming thing, I really like when you said, don't beat yourself up all the time, but taking responsibility for ourselves is important. Being obese is not healthy. The amount of people who claim that they are obese because of some medical condition is overblown. Do you think that people that claim this are lazy and don't want to address a problem they might have because of this now influence that it's okay to be that way?
Yeah, so something that I've noticed and something that I do with my clients a lot, and I mentioned earlier a lack of education. And I think a lot of times people, um, sorry, my son just held up a sign. He
Oh,
he held up a sign that was like, "Can I drink your Gatorade?" I was like, "Okay, okay." It's like, "Sure, go ahead."
You're like, fine.
So here's the thing, something that I like to do for my clients, because obviously, look, like we're all different humans. We all have different resting metabolic rates. We all have different energy or calorie needs. We're all very different. Some of us carry a little more body fat than others. Some live a little leaner than others. That's all fine. That's all absolutely fine. And for anyone to be, ridiculed or shamed or any of those things for how they look or whatever is absurd. That should not be. What I like to do for my clients is remove remove morality from our food, but like I like to inject a sense of objectivity into this whole thing, because I think that's where we get in this thing where we don't want to address things because it feels how we don't want to address this directly because it makes us feel bad. Well, it doesn't need to make us feel bad, and here's why. So body fat storage is not a malfunction. It is a evolutionary necessity, right? That like you need that stored energy, because what if one day you're low on energy? You would die. You would die. You would, like, if you don't have enough energy stored in your body, then your heart can't run, your brain can't operate, right? So body fat storage, body fat is literally just stored energy. That is it. It's stored energy. It's not a reflection of your capacity or your morals or any of those things. It is just stored energy. That's it. Food is energy, and we can enjoy food and all these things, but food at its baseline level, food and beverages are energy. So I think a lot of times, because so much emotion gets injected into how we feel about ourselves, when maybe we feel that we're carrying too much body fat, or how we feel about ourselves when we feel we're not making the best nutrition choices, that's led us to this point of dancing around an issue that doesn't need to be danced around. It just needs to be objectively talked about, right? Yeah. So again, we're all different people. We're all different as humans, but objectively, right, there's an amount of stored energy that is good for you to have on your body, and then there is an excess of stored energy that starts to impact how your systems work, right? And just because you're carrying around extra stored energy doesn't say anything about you as a person, other than that you're carrying around extra stored energy. Yeah. And there are ways to address that. There are ways to create a safe energy deficit or a calorie deficit. So I don't like to think of anyone who is on either end of the spectrum, underweight, which obviously is not nearly as big of a problem in today's society as overweight. But I don't like to think of people as lacking in any quality, or lacking in motivation, or lacking in whatever. But typically I do see that they are lacking in education. And usually when they get the basics, when people are given the basics, they're shocked at how easy, like simple, I guess easy is not the word, but simple it is.
And I do get the sense that some people don't want to know, because I think it's a fear of failure. They're scared that they're not going to be able to do it, and the commitment to what it takes in order to do it.
Right. Yeah. No, and it is scary. And again, that's another part where we're always, again, we're people, we're not robots. We're always going to have emotion around these things. So fear of failure is definitely a big like barrier to trying when it comes to fitness and wellness, fear of judgment, fear of, all of these things for sure. And that's why, like I said, as much as is possible, I just try to keep it very, very, very objective, very objective. Like, French fries are not a moral issue. They're just French fries.
Right.
Just French fries. They may or may not serve whatever your goal is. And that's how you have to approach it. Like, does this serve the goal that I'm trying to reach? Is this going to make me feel good? Is this going to whatever? Not like, oh my God, this is so bad, I'm the worst person ever because I ordered French fries. Like, you didn't rob a bank, you just ordered French fries.
I actually love that approach. And my husband actually did the keto diet 4 or 5 years ago. And he did it the correct way. He did it because he went to the doctor and he had a blood pressure scare and he was pushing hypertension.
Okay.
And he said, what can I do? And they said, well, you can get on this medication. And he said, no, I don't want to do that, because when you start taking that kind of medication, you end up having to take it for the rest of your life. And he didn't want to do that. So they said, well, diet and exercise. And he said, okay. And he came home, and that's when he did extensive research on, keto and what he needed to do in order to lose some weight and get his heart rate under control and his blood pressure under control. And he ended up losing over 60 pounds.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. He's kept it off. But his mentality behind that was, I'm not going to tell myself that I can't have something. It's just that, I'm not eating that way right now. Like I'm not going to eat that right now.
Yeah.
It's not that I can't have it.
It's not that you can't. Yeah. And I think that's what people like also fall into this, like, oh, I'm going to lose all the fun. And I'm never going to be able to enjoy things. And I can't enjoy a family meal. And it's going to be so restrictive. And I mean, when you think about, food, it's absolutely, it makes complete sense that food is the go-to for comfort and all of these things. Because when you think about anything that you can access that is great for like that dopamine hit or that whatever, like feeling that comfort in that moment, like a lot of things are like illicit. Food is not food is just, like substances or whatever. Food is just food. It's safe. It's there. It's easily accessible. Like, so it's no wonder it's hyper palatable. It's, so it's tied to nostalgia and family things. So yeah, of course, no wonder. And especially like we said, lacking the education, people not knowing what to do. So like, it's not a surprise that kind of we are where we are, but now in kind of taking a step back from addressing it instead of just head on, educating people on what it is they need, to do.
Yeah. Zia said everything in moderation.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. No, this is not good for that. Jack Daniels is good for that. In moderation. So I think it was around, gosh, I want to say the pandemic is kind of what did us in as far as pushing this body positivity movement very, very heavily, because we were all sitting at home. Everyone was kind of feeling crummy, probably not the best self-esteem mentality, because we were being told to stay in the house. And then we started to notice a shift in media as far as what is beautiful, or like what is big, bold, and beautiful. And I have seen more and more and more drastic changes in what is considered to be a plus size model now. Because versus, I think you and I are very close in age. When we would watch America's Next Top Model.
I knew you were going to say that because
Yeah.
I remember that.
And you
Yeah.
remember the very first season they had a plus size model? We were like,
Yep.
it was a big deal. But I mean, even then, of course, you put a plus size model then next to these really, really, really thin girls. Of course, she looks much bigger, but I guarantee you, if we were to see her in person, she would just look like
Yeah.
average.
A very, when I saw that video clip back because it was circulating on the internet recently, I was like, oh my gosh. It felt so silly to hear them say that. Like, like in hindsight. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we look back at that and like, to me, that's what a plus size model was. I don't know the exact sizes of it. I think it was somewhere in between like size 10 to 16 was considered to be plus size model. But now we're seeing, I put it in quotations because I don't consider them to be a model, but someone like, I don't know if you're familiar with Tess Holliday. She weighs close to 300 pounds. And that's not... I feel like it's glorifying obesity in a way where you're saying, yes, slay girl, you look amazing in that outfit. Like, sure, she could pull off something that's flattering for her body type. That's great. But then she will come out and say, all these people shaming me for my size. And then she'll try to prove a point by, posting a video of her shoving food in her mouth. And I don't see how that's helping in any ways. Like that you're on a path to die sooner, right?
Yeah. What's a bummer is like again, from a branding perspective, from a marketing perspective, like the representation of what people look like now and like what people's body types have trended towards in the United States, that makes absolute sense to model the clothes or whatever on someone, that looks like they're going to be wearing those clothes, what's a bummer is and again, I'm sure from her perspective, I'm sure the internet and whatever else, I'm sure people are mean, people wilding out on the internet. So I do not deny that at all. Like, I do not deny that people are probably going after her, but then you have the flip side of that where influencers or whatever, like you said, there's the videos like to prove a point of like, I can do whatever I want, and you can absolutely do whatever you want. But from a health perspective, your body hates extremes, hates it. Like your body wants to live in homeostasis, right? Your body wants to live in safety and like wants to chill out. And the extreme of obesity or morbid medical obesity is stressful. It's stressful on your heart. It's stressful on your joints and your bones. And even body composition that sways so heavily away from a healthy amount of muscle mass, also it affects the gray matter in your brain. So there's no scientific argument to be had for living at either extreme. And like we said, the one extreme obviously is significantly more prevalent in our society now, but your body hates extremes.
Yeah.
Hates it. It doesn't want to live that way. And it puts it under a tremendous amount of stress. So it's super, super crappy that people are awful to other people for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But then also as a person with a platform, like, it's not healthy. Like, it's not healthy. It can't be healthy. You can't stay healthy. You just can't, because that's not how our bodies are designed.
Exactly. Yeah. Our bodies are not designed to withstand and hold up that amount of weight on our joints. And yes, there are going to be trolls. There are going to be mean people everywhere, no matter what you're talking about, what you post. It does not matter. Everyone feels like a keyboard warrior when they're on the internet. They're like, I'm gonna get this person. And it could be like a picture of a spoon, and they'll be like, your spoon is stupid. I'm like, okay, cool, great. You got me.
Your spoon probably was stupid.
It probably was. You're totally right. But you're right that everyone is going to have their opinion about whatever it is, good or bad. The thing that bothers me the most, other than the fact that, like, yeah, people should not get on there and be like, oh, you're such a fat pig, or like,
Yeah, like people
because,
will. People, we know
oh
that they
yeah, I mean,
will.
they're
Like,
going to.
yeah, yeah. And it's like it's never okay. Like, but that's unfortunately always is, as long as the internet is and will be and was, like, it's what people do.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't ever make it okay. But from, again, a societal perspective, education perspective, a medical perspective, like the messaging that like we're just going to embrace this, like this is the new way. um
Yeah.
it's it's not good for us, and I mean very literally, physically, it is not good for us. Like, I am
No.
all for not hating your body, being grateful for the healthy body you live in, like modifying movements, like what, wearing clothes that fit you now, not comparing yourself to other people. I am all for all of that. That is all very healthy. But it's not healthy to lean into a trend or a lifestyle that we just know is going to make us sick.
Exactly. That is honestly what drives me crazy the most is seeing the comments, the opposite comments from the troll comments of just like, yes, you are so beautiful and brave. Like, sure, yes, yes, cool. It's a great compliment. But now you have sent a message to God knows how many people that have seen this comment and said, oh, okay, well, now it's okay for me to be this way too. And now it just creates this huge ripple effect of, especially for young women that are all constantly on social media looking at, the next filter to use on their face, or the next trend like Ozempic, or the next thing that's going to make them look like a completely different person or make them look like a Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be an extreme trend no matter what. But this is something that is 100% preventable. And
Yep.
I
Yes,
think
it is. Mm-hmm.
I think glorifying and praising someone like Tess Holiday on social media for being fat, like, don't let them tell you to lose weight. Like, I've seen comments like that, like, don't ever change, don't ever stay you, stay who you are, stay big and fat. Like, what message is that sending to the youth of today that are seeing these things, other than, okay, cool, it's okay to be me? Yeah, that's a great message, but it's not okay for you to do that to yourself.
Right. And I think unfortunately today, from whatever side of, you're attacking this from, that moderation isn't like cool. It's not
Yeah.
cool to be the
Yeah.
person just floating in the middle, like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna, do this, not have things I enjoy. Sometimes I'm gonna be someone who walks a lot. I'm gonna be someone who goes to bed early, and
Oh, you mean
you know
normal?
and avoids too much social media. Like it's there's a lot of draw in extremes, and I see this with clients, as far as like diets they choose to undertake or exercise programs they choose to try. Like, there's a lot of draw in extremes, and there's a lot of
Mm.
community in extremes. And that can be said for a lot of things. And like, we're wired for to seek out community, whatever that may be. So it's very understandable, like, the support and these things that people are trying to, like, give to each other and find like people and things like that. But again, if you boil it back down to the objective,
Mm.
to what is
Hmm.
true, what is true is that your healthiest self doesn't exist in the extremes ever.
No. No, and this actually kind of takes me back to our previous company. Because I did take some valuable things from that,
Hmm.
which was learning how to be your most authentic self. And I think that a lot of these people on the internet go to the extreme by not being themselves to get attention. And I think what happens in the long run is that they lose who they are, they lose their identity. And so now they've consumed this fake identity that they have to live up to. But you say being normal or being considered to be average, doing normal day-to-day activities, or what used to be considered normal, like going for a walk, eat breakfast, go to work, go to the gym on your lunch break, go home, cook dinner for your family, hang out with your family, go to bed. Like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't stand out in the crowd.
It doesn't stand out in the crowd, and there's so much noise. There's so much noise, especially in, the fitness industry, and we were talking about the Devil Wears Prada, the fashion industry, whatever. There's all this different noise about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what's great, what's not great, what'll get you attention, what won't get you attention. Have you ever heard of the sunk cost fallacy?
No.
So the sunk cost fallacy is basically when it's a tendency that we all have as people, and it's when you've proceeded with a certain course of action for a certain amount of time, you get to a point where it's not really good for you anymore, but you've already sunk so much time into it. The cost is already too high. You perceive the cost as being too high to change course. So sunk cost, the cost that you have sunk into this is too high. So like what you were just saying with we can lose ourselves in the attention and the things and we're finding community here, finding community there. And it's a human tendency. I have already invested so much, or I have already spent so much time going this way, that the thought of going this way now feels so overwhelming. It feels like it's just tearing it all down and starting again. And it's too overwhelming to even consider.
Whoa. Okay. I'm going to have to remember that, because that I have never heard of that before. I'm making a note now.
Write it down. Sunk cost fallacy, right? Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. So what are some ways that you think not as a society as a whole, but individuals that may want to say something to encourage someone to, reevaluate their lifestyle? What are some ways that someone could approach somebody on hey, I really will you come to the gym with me? Or hey, let's go for a walk. How can we start to transition this, I guess, epidemic of obesity towards a more positive outlook on working out, eating healthy, things like that? How could we approach somebody?
Well, I think what you just said is a great start, and what we were just talking about, which is ask, invite, offer community, include. There's a lot of fear for people, even people who may not, be, particularly overweight or whatever, but maybe just aren't familiar with gym settings or whatever. There's so many ways for people to be active. And obviously on the spectrum of active, there's a more optimal version, but for most of us, we don't need to worry about that. We just need to worry about moving our bodies. And finding community around that is one of the best ways that we can ensure that we continue to do it. So yeah, if you're someone who's active and, in whatever way that it may be, ask them to come, not because you're oh, hey, you really need to get it together. Let's go do this thing. But maybe just make them feel included. Make whomever that you would like to see moving and getting healthier, make them feel included, invite them out. And you get confidence by doing. You become more confident by just taking baby steps. Now, one of the biggest issues with getting healthier and controlling our body composition, our fat mass versus our lean mass, is nutrition. And that seems to be obviously the thing that most people can find a way to move. That seems to be the easier kind of puzzle piece to get where it needs to be. But nutrition definitely is the one where people struggle. And that's definitely the touchier subject too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely the touchier subject because people don't know what to do with the carbs. And, there's so many extreme diet. There's a carnivore diet. Oh, all my light just went away.
It's okay.
No, but there's a carnivore diet and there's, there's a paleo diet and there's a vegan diet and plant-based and like, there's all these options and people don't know what's what. So like nutrition can be difficult and the average person, even the average active person doesn't really know like what direction to give as far as nutrition goes. And that's unfortunate that we're just not taught this in school. Like my kids, they know what like a carb, she's waving at me. She asked, she's like, can I listen to the interview?
Yes, you can.
But yeah, like they know what a carbohydrate is and they know like scientifically and they know what protein is and they know what purpose it serves in the body because it's important because that's how our body works. They know what dietary fat is. Like they know that, I can say like I can say no to food in front of them and then not be like, oh, mommy's dieting. It's just like, nope, that's not the choice that's going to make mommy feel best right now. So I'm not going to have the donut right now, or I'm not going to have a donut for breakfast today because, mommy's going to go to the gym and that's not the best fuel for me to go to the gym. It's never like, we can't have that. We can't have that. It has to be all organic, but like we just, people don't have it. And, I'm not really sure what the answer is for getting it to people. Obviously that's what I do for work. That's what that's my business.
They come to you.
Yes,
but like that advice. Yeah.
It's very basic. It's very basic. It's not as complex as we like to make it. And, it's just unfortunate that it's not just something that we're just taught,
Thoughts on the food pyramid?
Oh. The food pyramid. Oh, Lord. I don't even remember it at this point.
I don't either.
The grains at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't either. But I remember they tried to redo it at some point and then they just made it worse. And I was like, that's not how this works. What are you doing? For most people, for most people, like most of us as adults, this is what we need to do nutritionally. And if most people would do this, they would be pretty good. And that's a good chunk of protein at each meal. Like if we could get around 30 grams of protein at most meals. A lot of people don't, know how to read nutrition labels, whatever, that's fine. So if you don't know grams or whatever of protein and produce, if at most meals, on most days, you fill your plate with protein and produce, you're going to be doing pretty good. Like that's pretty great. Not every day. That's literally like what we eat every day.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be every single day. It doesn't have to be every single meal. But if that was the habit on most days, at most meals, then the outliers, the enjoyment with family, the events, the things, they wouldn't matter as much. Right. It's what's habitual that matters. And what people need is protein and produce. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, that has carbs. It doesn't have carbs. It doesn't have carbs. You're sitting pretty if you're doing the protein and produce most days, most meals.
Yeah. It's like, Halloween, if you're living like a great habitual lifestyle and you're eating, keeping track of what you eat, or like not even keeping track of it, you just get into the habit of where like, okay, this is what's working for me, makes me feel good. I feel good about how I look, how I feel, how I move, that one day out of the year, like Halloween, for instance, when you get all the candy, like a few pieces of candy, a handful of candy is not going to mess all that up. It's not going to cancel it all out.
No, absolutely not. And that's what I was saying earlier about what people don't understand about the body is that it's incredibly adaptive. Like that's what it is designed to do. It's designed to adapt. It is designed to take on stressors and get better. So like we don't exist in this like, oh, I can only have this many calories, and if I go over it, so everything's over with. Like that's not the case at all. Like we're active on different days. We exist in ranges. We exist in like all these kind of, I don't want to call them gray areas, but kind of gray areas. So like the averages build, the averages matter, and the outliers matter in a way that like enjoyment counts for longevity. So those
Right.
outliers that you're like, oh, this is going to ruin everything. It's not. It's not going to ruin everything. It's actually great for you. It's great. It's great for your mental health and your stress management and all of those things. As long as everything else is, kind of in check. Like I said earlier, they're saying moderation, everything in moderation, but it's true.
Everything in
It's just hard.
moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, is a bowl of oatmeal protein or produce? Because Scott's needs a bowl of oatmeal. Uh, I don't think it's either, right?
Oh, we love a pre-gym oatmeal though,
Okay.
like protes, the protein
Yeah.
oats. It's a great pre-gym meal because all the carbs. We love all the carbs before the gym. I mean, we love all the carbs all the time.
Of
And
all
I'm
the
never I'm never I'm never
all
a
the
cut
carbs.
I'm not a cut carbs girl when it comes to dieting, but yeah, no, I love a good pre-gym oatmeal for some energy.
I did have Franzio says he has a hard time motivating himself to go to the gym. I think he works out. He just doesn't like to go to the gym. He said he literally hates the gym. I'm not usually a gym guy. I have to have someone to go with me. So, do you have any tips for like getting yourself motivated to actually go out to the gym?
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard. Like I have a home gym. Um, and I honestly, I do the same thing sometimes. I literally have like a text string back and forth between me and the boyfriend a few weeks ago where he was like, "Did you go down to work out?" I was like, "I'm just having a hard time getting up to walk down the stairs. Like I just don't want to today." And he was like, "Get your butt downstairs and work out." And I was like, "Fine." Um,
Yeah.
but but one is even if you can't find someone to go with you, you can at least find someone to hold you accountable to going. You can at least find someone to tell that I am going to do this. Like, please, hold me to my word. Um,
Yeah.
there's different methods and things too for setting goals, and um, one of them, there's one, I'll see if I remember. It's called the Ulysses Pact, which is a very epic name for a basic plan, but it's basically like you say what it is that you're going to do, you inform someone of it, and then you say what's going to happen if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I am going to go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after work. And you tell your friend, this is what I'm going to do. You write it down. I'm going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work. If I do not go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work, like check in with me. If I don't do it, then I am going to delete Instagram from my phone or whatever. It doesn't have to be some massive thing, but
Yeah.
it's a tool for goal setting that some people respond really positively to. Some people respond, positively to positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement or whatever it is. But writing things down, sharing a goal with your friends, like these are things that increase your odds of success pretty exponentially.
Because the hello.
Yeah, so it may not be realistic that you can get a friend to go with you all the time. And trust it,
Yeah.
like I love a good partner workout. Um, yeah, it may not be realistic. So yeah, informing someone that that's what you're going to do, like saying it out loud, writing it down, and saying when you're going to do it. Like the more specifics that are included, the better.
Yeah, because it gives yourself an outline. You can hold yourself accountable to do it if it's you that you need to hold yourself accountable with.
It,
Like if
it
you,
also
yeah,
helps. It also helps to have a program like that you're following. Like you're just checking boxes. Like it takes mental load off your plate to not be wandering into the gym. Like, "Oh, what am I gonna do today? Like, what's
yeah,
the workout gonna be?" Like, it helps to have the structure in place. Like,
yeah.
here's the program. I'm gonna walk into the gym. I'm gonna check these boxes. There's no additional arguing you have to do with yourself if you're going to do this exercise or that exercise. Um, it becomes an issue of decision fatigue. Like you're just exhausted of making decisions. Like so you don't want to make any more decisions. So that's another way that you can kind of take away that extra mental load of like, oh, what do I do? Where do I go? Just have a program, follow it for 12 weeks, 12 plus weeks. You don't have to change your workouts that often.
I was in that mood today. I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. Then, like in my head, now this is not a problem. This is probably an unhealthy type of attitude to have. And I'm like, if you don't go, you're gonna feel like shit later. But that, to me, that's what gets me to go. Now, somebody else might have some sort of different mentality in their head of like what gets them to go, what works for them. But like,
yeah, absolutely. And it's unique to each individual, but no, I'm the same way. And people assume like, oh, you're a fitness coach or whatever. So you like live in the gym. And that's not the case at all. I live here behind my laptop because that's where all my work is done. And more often than not, I don't want to go. Like, I'm not excited about it. I sat here typing fitness programs all day. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the gym. Like, I don't want to walk down the stairs to my own gym. Like, I don't want to do but like there are certain requirements if you want to live a high quality of life. Like, just period. There just are. Like, you are not going to live a high quality life if you're weak. If you're a weak person, like, you're not going to live a high quality life if your nutrition's like not in check. And I'm not sitting over here preaching like super clean organic eating because that's not the case. I just ate like a bunch of Oreo brownies that me and my kids whipped up before I stepped on screen. So
yum.
they were so good. The batter was bomb too. My daughter was like, "Isn't there raw eggs in this?" I was like, "Who cares? It's
like,
fine.
Whatever." You're like, "We used to scrape the bowl."
That's what I said. I was like, "This is what we did when I was kids. It's fine."
Yeah, just get the spatula, scrape that bowl and eat it. You're not good. You'll be fine. It's just like eating raw cookie dough, you know? They're like, "Is this safe?" I'm like, "I don't care. I'm eating it anyway because it tastes good."
I know. I love raw cookie dough. I know now they do all the edible cookie dough. They take the eggs out of it. It's not as good though. It's not as good as like,
it's not as good.
The risk in eating the risk
stuff. The leaded stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just check some chats real quick. He said, "Go to the gym is too far in the future. Be in now. Focus. I'm going to put on workout wear. I'm going out the door, break it into smaller bits that fit into now." Yeah, that's a good approach to it. You know, just getting up and getting dressed as if you're gonna go to the gym kind of helps you get a head start on that.
And it's all about knowing yourself too and being okay with like adopting whatever works for you. Like, just because something worked for your friend, just because your friend, you know, schedules their gym time in advance because that keeps them accountable, maybe that doesn't work for you, and that's 100% okay. Like, I just saw the comment about
cookie dough.
You don't have to,
Get eggs straight from a chicken. Don't wash them. Then you can eat cookie dough. I'm
always gonna risk it. I'm never gonna not eat the cookie dough.
Isn't it funny how cautious everyone is nowadays? We're like, versus when we were kids, you know, my mom would just say, "All right, go outside and play until dusk. I'm not even worried about what you're doing. Just stay within the vicinity. That way, if I walk out on the porch and yell your name, you hear me." And I'm like, "Okay." And then we're like scraping the brownie batter out of the bowl. We're eating raw cookie dough. We're like, "Oh, what's that?" And then we eat it. And we're like, "No, don't eat that." And then we're like, "Oh, I used to put my mouth under the hose as a kid."
Yeah, right? All the good stuff. Those are all the best memories too.
I know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell us where we can find you, and if you want to drop a link to your program in the chat, you can do that. And then I'll also pull up your Instagram so that way.
Yeah, my Instagram handle is really complex. It's Nikki Larock, so it's really hard to find. My company is Elite Habits. And obviously, you can probably tell by how I've talked throughout this live that we're very focused on not just the outcome that you get, but actually having the structure that you need to support holding on to that outcome. So yeah, Elite Habits is the company. FormEliteHabits.com is the website. Yep, you got it. There it is. There it is in the chat. Yep, that's us. And then you have my Instagram, like I said, first name, last name, it's right there. But yeah, that's us. It's us. Nice. We're simple as possible. That's what we do. We keep things as simple as possible.
Love it.
Yep. Simple and effective.
She is. There
That's
she
me.
is.
That's me.
That's you. So, are you taking new clients in case anyone wants to work with you?
Yes, so I'm about to launch a new program that's a group program. It's designed for groups because we talked all about community and how important that is.
Yeah.
It's called Elevate Together, and it is set all your nutrition targets, and you get to choose from, a 3 day or a 4 day strength training split. You get to choose from in home or in gym, depending on what you have. So everything's signed, assigned for you. Everything's taken care of. You just have to paint by numbers, and you get a nice little community around you. So it's not one-to-one coaching, but it is, a nice like group program introduction to kind of this structured strength training approach to wellness, and a mindfulness around our nutrition. And then one-to-one coaching, I do have 3 open spots on my roster at the moment. So
Nice.
just a few spots left on the one-to-one roster, but Elevate Together is going to launch soon, next month,
That's
actually.
so
So
exciting.
yes, so yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to launch the group program, and like I said, people find so much success when they're working in groups, and it's actually very much recommended, not required, but very much recommended that you sign up for Elevate Together with with a friend, with
Hmm.
your sister, with your significant other. A shared timeline just increases your odds of success so
Yeah.
drastically.
And you have like an accountability buddy.
You have an accountability buddy, and
Yeah.
it's not extreme. It's not 75 hard. It's a way that you could actually live, but will actually get you results.
It's attainable.
It's attainable. It's doable. Yep.
Attainable.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
I'm gonna put all your info once the live stops. I'm gonna put the link to your website, link to your Instagram in the description of the video. That way people can find you if they come back and watch it later. And Nikki, thank you so much for
Thank
joining today
you.
because
Yes.
it was just so fun to have you. And I think we should do this again, to be honest.
I'm all in. I love it. I tend to nerd out over fitness stuff. So sorry if I went too hard into the fitness science.
No way. No way. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's nice to kind of because like, I've kind of stepped away from that part of it. I still teach here and there, but like, I really stepped away from it and just do it for me instead of other people. And it's just nice to kind of get like a refresher and hear the different language in the approach of certain things. And I think that it's okay to talk and be inclusive in ways that encourage and motivate people to better themselves versus
Absolutely.
talking at somebody or talking down to somebody, because that's not going to do anything. And
Hmm.
the ultimate goal is to create healthier bodies and healthier living for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's I guess our former company, that was kind of the overarching at one point. I don't know where they are now, but it was overarching, like, for a fitter planet or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, it's just we just want, like, yeah, like, I just want people to understand their bodies and feel good. It feels good to feel good. Like, and
It really does.
yeah, it doesn't feel good to, like, have your knees hurt all the time, and be out of breath walking upset. Like, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. Like, I want everyone to feel as good as I have the opportunity to feel, in living in a healthy, strong body. So, you know,
And everyone's capable of feeling that way. It's just
absolutely.
we've got to we've got to just do a little bit more encouraging, a little bit more motivating, and a little bit more kindness.
Kindness never hurts. A little,
Yeah.
little extra sprinkle. Yeah.
A little,
Just
a little, little
a
sprinkle, a little
little
salt bay.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, go follow Nikki on Instagram. It's at at Nikki Larock. I put the link in the chat, but I'll also put it in the description. But thanks, girl. So good to talk to you.
It was great to talk to you. I like I've been playing with this whole fidgeting with my hairband the whole time, just moving from hand to hand.
I didn't even notice.
All over the place, like the yo-yo when you're kids, like cat's cradle and
witch's broom.
Yeah, the witch's broom.
Love it, love it. Well, thank you again, and obviously we're gonna keep in touch because we're friends. So,
of course, yes, we will. And yeah, I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you for hopping on. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer, but so happy that she joined us. She gave us her insight for the video. Of course, the episode that came out on Tuesday is a big help for me with her doing that, and it just added so much to the content. And so I was just so thankful for that. So yes, bye, Nikki. Thanks in advance. And monthly segment, maybe. Okay, Bam. What was your comment about my yogurt eating earlier? You said I had an addiction to yogurt. It's just my nightly treat. That's all. That's all it is. It's just my little nightly snack. It's my go-to. I'm gonna text her so much. Yeah, what'd you guys think? I thought it went great. She's so smart. And that's why I wanted to have her on. Because she's just so smart. She's so good at what she does. And obviously, if you went and looked at her Instagram, like, she's a buff babe. Like, I've watched her her transformation over the years from the company we both used to work for, to now. And it's like, it's amazing. And I want to be her. I really do. Like, I want to work with her so bad. The timing just hasn't been right yet for me to do that. So hopefully in the near future, I'm going to be able to work with her, because I do need to get my... Yay! Yes! Made it in time for the baby spoonula! Yay! Yay. Just in time. Yeah, so hopefully the timing will work out soon where I can train with her, because honestly, guys, my energy is just so low. And if I'm being completely honest, I know that I don't eat enough. I really don't. I don't. And that is some slight body dysmorphia problems. You know, we get honest on here, so welcome to the party. We're getting honest. Okay, this is loose. I need to tighten it real quick. Hang on. There we go. I don't wanna. What is it? What would the baby spatula do if you didn't indulge your craving? I suppose you could cook one egg with the baby spoonula. I suppose you could cook one egg in a very tiny pan. A very tiny egg in a very tiny pan with a very tiny spatula. A quick little rundown Hi, Rumble. I see we've got a few viewers over there. Let's see. I'm not sure how many we've got viewing on Twitter right now. Let's see. Not many on Twitter. That's okay. And this, I am going to download the stream and post it to my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel. So if you missed parts of it, that's okay. You will see it again. You'll see it posted. You didn't talk about the figure skater comment I made. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me go back. I am so sorry. Olympic and world champion figure skaters tell you she feels fat. There may be more trolls. There may be more than trolls causing trouble. Oh, yeah, that's probably coaches. Definitely. Yeah, that's huge in cheerleading and in gymnastics, figure skating, anything that requires you to do anything like physical and wear, you know, very tiny costumes. I have heard that the coaches oftentimes will really get to the young girls about their weight. And like they have weigh-ins, much like wrestling. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Vision Quest, but anytime I think of a weigh-in for a sport, I always think of that scene where, you know, he drilled himself, he killed himself, and, you know, all those long distance runs wearing a sweatsuit with trash bags to sweat out his fat. And then he kept weighing over, but he was trying to get into a certain weight division for wrestling. And then he gets on the scale and he's like an ounce heavier. And so then he takes off his underwear and then it goes to where he needs to be. And that movie's called Vision Quest, starring Matthew Modine. It was otherworldly to hear an Olympic and world figure skater champion say she was too fat. Yeah, that's body dysmorphia, unfortunately. Probably influenced by parents and coaching. Once went to have lunch with a model. She couldn't eat because she had already had her orange that day. Oh, God. Vision Quest was a great movie. The woman in it, Linda Fiorentino, was attacked by Weinstein, quit the business. Oh, no. That's terrible. That's terrible. My mom loves that movie. Vision Quest. She loves the Journey song in it. Whatever, however that song goes. Let's see. Journey song from Vision Quest. I can't play it. Only the young. That's right. Only the young Journey lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, my mom loves that song. Anytime Vision Quest is brought up in conversation, the first thing she says is, "Oh, I love that Journey song from that movie." I'm like, I know, Mom. We know. We know. I think you just love that movie because Matt Modine. It is a good movie, though. I haven't seen it in a very long time. But I remember it being very good. Obviously, if I remember certain things from it. Just being an athlete, that amount of pressure that you put on yourself, and then obviously from coaches. If you have a good coach, it's different. You know, the approach to something is different. Now, someone like these world-class figure skaters that you're talking about, that said they were too fat. That's something that's influenced. That's a learned thing that was probably said to them harshly and unwarranted. You know, they probably said something very, very negative, like, you know, you're never gonna win if you can't jump because you're too fat. You're never gonna land your double axel if you weigh this much. And that's terrible. It's awful. It's an awful thing to say. That's not a way to motivate somebody. But honestly, and this was something I kind of alluded to when I was talking to Nikki, was that there are some things that I actually took from that company that I learned a lot from. And that was, not everyone learns the same thing the same way. And not everyone has their own way of accepting motivation and receiving motivation and the language of that motivation. And, you know, oftentimes people don't like to be drill sergeant, like barked at. They don't like to say, like, you know, if you don't do this, like, you're gonna get fat. Like, if you don't do this, you're not gonna feel good later. They don't like that negative stuff. But there are people that do like that. I like that. I like that type of coaching. But there are people that need it a little bit more delicately. And then there are people that need more information. They're like, okay, you told me to do this. Now tell me why. Why do I need to do this? I need to know exactly why you're telling me to go lower in my squat. I need you to tell me why, you know, running and getting my heart rate up, what is that going to do for me? People just need reasons. Or like, you're telling me to eat this way, but why? It's like a little kid. Why? Why? But why? Why? You're like, just do it. Just do it. World champion. We have standards up here in the city of champions. LOL. Yeah, y'all got the winter sports on lock, huh? Is someone too smart for their own good? Are you talking about me? I am definitely not that smart, guys. You know, sometimes I pretend to be, and obviously you have fallen for that. But I'm not that smart. I really am not that smart. Now, okay, my friends try to tell me, they're like, you know, you are pretty smart. You are very smart. I'm like, no, I'm really not. I just sound like I am sometimes. No, need more reasons before you'll do it. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and that's very common. Like, a lot of people just want reasoning. They want the why. They want, and the way Nikki explained it was the objective. So what is the objective? What is the goal in which you're trying to make by doing this? Which is a good way to approach something. So if you're, you know, hesitant about going to the gym, yes, you are just the Salt Bae. I mean, look at that mustache twirl. Look at it. Just look at it. If you're hesitant about going to the gym per se, maybe in your head, depending on how you would like to be motivated. Now, if you're a self-talker and you talk negatively to yourself all the time, and obviously that might not be working for you to get up and go to the gym, maybe try a different approach. Maybe you say, if I don't go to the gym, I'm not going to feel as good after if I do go to the gym. If I go to the gym, I'm going to feel really good about myself. If I go to the gym, I can check it off my to-do list. If I go to the gym, I can mark that off my list of things that I did today. Because at the end of the day, when you look at that list and you're like, I did these things today, it feels really good. So it just depends on how you like to be motivated. I got too many because I said so's when growing up. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I was the third child, so I got a lot of that. If you skip the gym, you can look at puppies. Sure. How about you can't look at puppies if you skip the gym? Yeah, I got a lot of because I said so. A lot. When I was a kid, I had this phrase. You know, I said, was it Tuesday night? I used to say cereal milk spoon bowl when I wanted cereal. Which is, you know, out of order. Freaking dumbass kid. I would say, don't say me that. Like when I didn't like something that someone said to me, I'm like, don't say me that. My mom thought it was so funny. The problem is I get distracted. These women be wearing super tights, and as being a male, it's hard not to look at. Hey, I get it. I get it. Can we talk? Okay. Can we talk about... You do run yourself down a bit. Me? 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 No. I went to the gym today. I go to the gym every day. And the amount of young people there is great. I'm glad that they're working out the high school age. I mean, I started working out when I was in high school. But why the need to congregate at a machine? Like today, there were probably 6 or 7 teenage, high school aged boys just congregating around a machine while one was on it. What is that? What are they doing? I don't understand it. It's very annoying. I don't like it. This isn't the mall. Go to the mall if you want to do that. And it does drive me crazy that for some reason, I have never seen this before, except at this stupid gym that I go to, which I hate. It's disgusting. I know I've talked about it before. It's disgusting. It smells bad. It's dirty, but it's the only one in my area that has everything that I need. And it's gross. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Yeah, they're using it for a hangout. But the thing is that everybody, almost, I would say 75% of the people that go to that gym, that's what they do. No, okay, back up. I'll say 40% of the people, thank you. Thank you. Go to the coffee shop and hang out. Don't do it at the fucking gym. It's so annoying. Like, I like to go in there, get my workout done so that I can get out. And if I have to sit there and watch this guy, because it's always the same, like 3 dudes that will just put their shit down on a machine and then walk away. And then I see them, you know, somewhere in the corner or off on the side talking to some chick or talking to another couple or talking to somebody else. And they're over there for like 30 minutes with their shit still on the machine. But if you go and like move their stuff, they come running. They're like, I'm using that. And then you're like, well, you haven't been using it for 30 minutes. Well, I'm going to use it. Okay. Well, you're not using it. Like they hog machines. They're assholes when you try to get in on the machine and when they're not using it. And then they just congregate and they talk to each other. I'm like, this is not the mall. This is not church. This is not a coffee shop. If you want to chit chat, go down the street either direction because there's like 5 coffee shops. Pick one. Go grab coffee. Let the people... It's like somebody going to Starbucks in the morning and waiting in line to get a venti frappuccino. Those people also drive me crazy. It's like, get out of the way, make way for the people that actually need coffee this morning and not your sugar frosty thing. Am I right? Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm not the only one that annoys. Ah, I'm so thirsty. Jeez Louise. If you are viewing on Twitter, hello Twitter. If you're viewing on Rumble, hello, hello. Hi, hi. We can take that away now. It's just us. Very, very annoying. I mean, I hate Starbucks anyway. Yeah. Well, I don't go unless I'm out of town somewhere. Go to a truck stop and get a real coffee. Go to Buc-ee's. No, we do a French press. No, we used to do a Keurig. Still have it, but now we've gotten into French press, and it is very good. I used to like not like really dark, strong coffee, and now I'm like, give it to me. Give me all the dark coffee. It's so good. There's this one coffee company in on Coronado Island called Trident Coffee. Here, let me pull them up. Share my screen. Wait, you missed a hugely funny old joke. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Wait. It's a social gathering, not a workout. How many gym bros does it take to change a bulb? 7 to 1 to change it, and 6 to say, you're huge, man. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is Trident Coffee, and we ordered some coffee from them not that long ago because it's so delicious. But they're off Coronado Island. You can order their coffee on... Ooh, I wish I had an espresso machine. You can order their coffee on Amazon and from their website. But we got the... I've had the damn the torpedoes. That one's really good. I think that's the one we got, actually. Yeah, we got Trident and damn the torpedoes. Smoky, bold, smooth. It's expensive, but it's very good. Ooh. You can do a subscription? Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, hi. Indian Jesus. You want to hop in here? I'll send you a link. I'll send it to you on Discord. Or no, Twitter. I'll send it to you on Twitter. Where's my Twitter? Oh, there it is. Shoo doo doo. Doo doo doo. No, not a sponsor, but the coffee is delicious. Are they sending you free stuff? If not, they really should. I don't know. You should contact them and tell them to, because we go there every day when we go to Coronado, because it's the best coffee there. It really is. It's the best coffee. But I'm seriously considering signing up for this weekly subscription. Oh, look who it is! Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Are you muted? Oh, 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 oh. You should send them an email. There you are, I got you now. You should send them an email, tell them to sponsor me, because I'm plugging their coffee.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I had I was unplugging the microphone, and I was like, "Oh, Meg's live."
Yeah, let me plug that back in.
Yeah, the vertical video it's very good if if you're just talking and stuff, but for reactions, not ideal. I'm hoping that they, like, right now, you know how for this stuff, like, you could make your own layout.
Yeah.
You can't do that in vertical. So, like, it has, like, if this is the whole screen, it has like the video up here, and then you're in like a tiny little box here. And so like you could make the video here and then like make a longer video, like a regular TikTok stitch or something, maybe. But now I did it, so you don't have to.
So like Good Mythical Morning, like, we do this so that you don't have to.
Yep.
Oh, hello. I just got home. Hello. Oh.
Hello, you guys. You mute and I'll talk to the chat.
No.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what are you guys up to? What you guys been talking about? Yeah, I just tried to do a stream, the long ways. And it's good for like a TikTok shorts, IG reels style if you're just like talking. But I was trying to do video reactions and not ideal. That coffee did look good though. I had to quit caffeine though. Not good. I was working in an Italian restaurant and I wasn't working. I wasn't eating. I just down a bunch of shots of espresso when I got to work, then not eat anything, drink all night, and repeat. It was not good.
Damn.
Yeah, I was saying how I had to quit caffeine.
Well, I only have 1 cup of coffee, and that's in the morning, and that's it.
That's good. Yeah, it wasn't until I got to my restaurant job that had an espresso maker where I was like, well, I'll just do a triple. I'm kind of tired, and just like banging back. Yeah, let's work.
Like, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
The coffee is the elixir of life. Well, that or whiskey or both.
I'll take the whiskey.
Oh, what's your whiskey of choice?
I used to be a big whiskey guy. I don't like bourbon. I prefer bullet bourbon I like. Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew is my go-to whiskey.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
It's not. It's like the how vodka you have like Pop Off and Majorska are like the plastic bottles that you get in college. Jameson and Tullamore Dew are kind of the same level. It's not like hey, yeah, Zio, I would love a single malt. Who don't love a single malt? But I don't know. I just it like at some point it just started messing with my stomach too much. I don't know, maybe just getting older. But even just like with like beer and wine, sometimes it's just like,
I'm the same way. It is weird how like you grow a taste for something, and then all of a sudden, as you get older, like the taste starts. You don't like the taste of something anymore, or it's.
Well, I never liked the taste. I always thought alcohol in general was nasty. To this day, I don't like the taste of alcohol. I just like what it does. That took me down a road of why I can't drink vodka, because I was like, oh, this tastes nasty, so let me try something that's flavored and it'll be better. And then there's a bunch of sugar in it and blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah. Yes, anytime that you mix like a lot of sugar with alcohol, because alcohol is sugar, it then just makes your stomach knots, like absolute knots. I prefer bourbon. I'm a bourbon girl, but I'm also a tequila girl. Woo!
I feel like 99% of 90% of women can't drink tequila because of a tequila experience, like getting too fucked up and too drunk. Like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's vodka for me. But I feel like most women, it's tequila.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't drink dark, like reposado. I can't drink dark tequila. I have to have like blanco, and it's because I don't like the way it feels in my stomach. Like it makes my stomach hurt. A dark tequila just makes my stomach turn.
Yeah.
And then bourbon though doesn't do that unless it's like a shitty bourbon, or if it's like really thick and syrupy. No.
That's what I don't like about it. That it's got, because again, I don't like the flavor. So I was never like, I mean, obviously if I had like a Glenfiddich or Macallan, then I'd sip that. But that's not what I was drinking. We were drinking Johnny Walker, not blue. Usually what is it? There was green, red, and there's one other one. Black label. Yeah, the black label we usually get. A couple times I had they did like a platinum one that my friends got me for my 21st birthday. I used to have it, came in like a nice case and everything. And it's around here somewhere, but I appreciate it.
Is it empty?
Oh, it's empty. It's empty. Yeah, it lasted a while, but like, cause we saved it for. I mean, it was 3 of my friends who split the bottle and gave it to me. So we really only used it when we were together and we were hanging out all the time. But like, it was like, all right, the Super Bowl or somebody's birthday or something like that. Oh, we popping open the platinum.
Yeah, we Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with like Pappy Van Winkle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the distillery that Pappy's made at is Weller. And Weller makes really good bourbon and other things, but bourbon is what they're known for. And in Kentucky, where all like the bourbon trail is, and it's the same with wineries. What happens is they like in wineries, other smaller wineries that are actually bigger than the winery itself, like the huge winery, they'll rent plots of the land to produce their wine. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing in Kentucky, where smaller distilleries will go to bigger distilleries to produce their liquor. And Pappy is made in the Weller distillery. And Weller, if you get the good Weller,
I'm not familiar with Weller.
It tastes very similar to Pappy.
How much is Weller? Like how much is like a bottle of Weller? Weller.
It's not that bad. It's really not.
Because Pappy is like the super expensive one, right? The one that Lauren Southern was drinking out of a paper cup or a solo cup on Timcast.
What? That is blasphemous. Okay, so obviously Weller gets up there depending on, depending on whatever it is that you get. But this says their special reserve is 65.
That's not bad.
And it's a big bottle.
Yeah, that's not bad. I was expecting a lot more. Like some Pappy prices.
Let's see. Single barrel. Okay, so
single barrel. There you go.
A single barrel is $700.
Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. What's
the 12-year? Oh, $329. Antique. No, there was one I just saw that was like. Oh, this one's $579.99.
Share the screen.
Right. Share my screen. Sorry. Duh.
Looking out for y'all in the chat. Ooh, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
With $10 for a gift message? Yo, just buy it and then put a postcard or a whatever.
Yeah.
You're already spending almost $600 on the bottle.
How are they gonna do that? Put a gift message for an additional $10. Like you've already marked this up.
See, like the bottle engraving for that could be cool, but I wouldn't pay for the gift message. maybe the gift wrapping. Ooh, single barrel. Oh, just no, like the color. You
I
can tell
know.
from here.
Yeah.
Maybe you could make that look that way altered, but assuming it's $700 a bottle, that they just took a picture of it, like that looks like good whiskey.
Someone gave us this bottle of tequila that let's see if I can find it. It's like a crystal bottle tequila.
Yeah, cognac with the engraving. Guys, don't forget, every donation for any stream that I'm on comes with a treat for my dog Marty. So if you
Where's
like
the doggy?
then...
Oh, I think it's Crystalino, maybe? No, that's not it. Dang it. It's, well, I'll share the screen after I find it. But yeah, it's like this, it's supposed to be this, like, it drinks like a bourbon. It's very odd. And I did like sip it. I did like a very small glass of it. It does. It's weird. It's very weird how it just like, it's smooth and sips like a bourbon.
So how do you do with wine? Because I didn't know that about what Vamp's saying. Women tend to have problems with red wine and tequila due to some trace chemical compounds. I did not know that.
Wine I'm okay. I used to be like a wine connoisseur. I used to love wine, and now I only drink it like at dinner. If we like go out to eat or something, I'll have a glass with dinner or something.
Yeah. Red or white?
Depends on what I eat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You like that. You like that.
Yeah. Depends on what I eat. But if it's red, it's either an Italian blend or cab.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I used to work at Carrabba's, and you know, it's not like super fancy place, but you know, they had decent wines, and you had to know the differences between them. And so I got to learn, and then they had you know, like if a bottle is opened, then like even red wine, like they'll put it in the fridge, and like if it's not finished in 4 days, they got to get rid of it, and they just let you take it home. So I got, you know, a bunch of, you know, different stuff to try. Just like, yo, anybody taking that bottle home? Like, I am.
Yeah.
I like a Malbec. I like a red wine. I like a Malbec. Merlot. Merlot and Cab, I guess. But there's I can't remember the name. God damn it.
Pinot Noir.
No.
Zinfandel.
Chianti. There we go.
Chianti. Yeah.
I really like Chianti. There was like a good $12 bottle. That's like when I was on probation and I wasn't allowed to, you know, I fell into a little bit more drinking. And I was putting down like a bottle and a half of Chianti a day. It was not good. And I'm a little dude.
I was about to say. Oh, here it is. Mi Familia Flores Cristalino Rapas. That is a mouthful. Reposado tequila.
I like the bottle.
Yeah, and the lid holds a shot.
Oh yeah, those are cool. There's who is it? What 1800 or some sort? Yeah, they do that. I really like that. That's a nice little thing.
We have an Italian restaurant named Chianti. Y'all have Italian in Canada? Yes, Dan Aykroyd does make a Crystal Skull vodka. Yeah.
Every celebrity's got their own liquor.
Hey, Casamigos tequila is my favorite tequila, and that's George Clooney.
Yeah, and then there's what's the one? What's the one that Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad? They have one.
They have a tequila?
I think it's a tequila.
Let's see.
They definitely have. Right? Am I pulling that out of my ass?
Oh, it is tequila.
Yeah, see,
Dos Hombres.
yeah. Did you ever watch the show? I think it was HBO, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I watched some of it. Yeah.
Trace Comas. I get my third comma back.
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of that show. I think I watched like completely watched the first two and a half seasons of it.
Did you meet the billionaire guy?
That ended up buying the company, and he was like really weird.
Yeah, he was like very like extrovert, like
like
that
yes.
That was
oh
the name
God.
of his tequila, Trace Comas.
Oh
There's 3 commas in a billion. I need to get my third comma.
Zio said, "I'm Italian." He's in Canada. Well, isn't that something? Ain't that special? Ain't that special? Wait, hang on. I added some sound bites.
As if.
Yeah, I haven't had this. I've never actually. I think I have seen this at the liquor store. I think it's this one.
I'm in my like wine ant stage. Like I drink Truly lemonade, but I make Truly lemonade spritzers. Because what had happened was I have like I use sipping from my mug is like a nervous tick. It's a thing, so between vape and so like I can control my drinking in general, but I just I sip at a normal rate, and so it takes a lot more mental energy to be like, okay, only take a tiny sip, or like, I just took a sip, and try to space that out rather than just water it down and just go to town. So the Truly lemonades, they're sweet, but they're not like like Smirnoff sweet. They're relatively light. They're pretty refreshing, and I would drink them normally. But there was one show where I got a little you probably couldn't tell if you were watching, but I just felt like a little out of control, and I was like, okay, I can't get this drunk.
Yeah. No. So back to the wine thing. If I drink red wine, it is inevitable that I have Raynaud's disease. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Raynaud's disease. It's not like a huge
Good guy?
No, it's like a blood circulation thing. And it affects people differently. And so in the winter, it affects it's in my fingers and in my toes. So my toes will just randomly go numb.
I think I have this.
Do your fingers turn like
yellow? Randomly in the last year or so, I've just been noticing that just by when I'm in bed, if I have my arms up and the fact that I'm always vaping, then my fingers will start to go numb, and so I have to go and I'll shake it out, and that's crazy. And then I showed you downstairs in the studio, I have my foot warmer thing. I have one up here too because my feet get super cold, even in the summer.
You might have it.
Yeah, what is this shit called?
Here, I'll put it in the Raynaud's. I think that's how you spell it. Hang on. Yeah, Raynaud's syndrome. So basically, especially in the winter, if I go from really, let's say, hot to cold quickly or cold to hot quickly, if I go from hot to cold very quickly, my fingers will turn red. If I go from cold to warm too quickly, my fingers will continue to stay warm and they'll turn yellow, white. And same with my toes. But if I drink red wine, my fingers from the knuckle up turn bright red and hot.
Really?
And my nose turns red.
You got any Asian in you?
No.
Asian glow? That's the Asian glow. When Asians drink, like my mom can have half a glass of wine and she'll be flush. It's just Asian, and she's that, that's the Chinese side. I had a friend who it's so funny because I had one friend who like behaviorally he would be just blitzed, and he would be he'd be fine except for the fact that his face was all red.
Yeah.
And then we had another he was Filipino, and my Chinese friend, he would get so drunk so fast, and they both be the same amount of redness, and he's the one's like just sloppy, and the other dude's like, yeah, I'm just talking fine, but it's bright red.
Yeah, I mean that's typically what happens to me is like I'll just have like one full glass of red wine, and then my fingers turn really red and they get really warm, and then my nose will start to turn red and warm, and it's just annoying. Like I start to get mad about it whenever we're out in public. And if I'm hot already, like from like hot, and then I start to drink red wine, it does it even quicker. And then I get
menopause
flushed.
Menopause. It might be early menopause. I mean, I'm glad I'm past the like the college, post-college stage of like feeling like I have to always be just partying, and like I'm very glad I'm beyond that. Good times.
An allergic reaction to a certain type of grape. No, it's just done that my whole life. I could have an intolerance to wine now. Who knows? You know how your like food sensitivities start to change as you get older too.
Yeah, Vamp, it 1000% is not being too muscle to that for sure. I think we can rule that out.
I knew a guy who cut off his arm circulation when he slept. He was massive though. Well, I'm sure.
But I mean, it definitely has to do like with either the nerve, or if I have the Raynaud's, then the blood circulation when I have my arm bent. And
yeah.
But it only started happening, like I said, within, I don't know, maybe in the last year or two. And I've been vaping and smoking forever, so I've always constantly been like this in bed. I sleep like this on the side like a normal person.
I mean, honestly I think it has something to do with this holding our phones constantly.
Bing, bing.
Because my dad actually got tennis elbow from.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, shout out to pop sockets. If you don't got something like a pop socket, like this thing has, I mean, the pain. The pain from I have like an indent where the phone perfectly fits because like, oh wait, put it against a different background. It perfectly fits right here because I would just be on my phone all the time and trying to hold it, and I don't have tiny hands, but I'm just a small guy, and so then being able to do this, oh, so much better. And then you just spend.
I used to have a pop socket.
They have other ones too that are not specifically pop socket. The problem with the pop socket is that a lot of things that are meant to hold your phone, like a thing for the car, or like a gimbal, so that when you're walking around it's not all like shaky. They don't make space for the thing, which is surprising because like I'm sure there's got to be cases that are thicker than that. But I don't know. Like I have a gimbal, and I just saw an ad on TikTok, and I was thinking about getting it. But I need to be able to see now that I'm going to be doing more of the vertical streams. I don't want my phone to be all shaky.
Yeah, no, and that's why I took mine off, was because it wouldn't fit in anything.
Yeah.
Or like mounts, or tripods, like it wouldn't fit in the things. So then I like take the phone out of the case, put it on the thing.
Yeah. That's the other thing too, is that I don't like having a case. It's like I spent all this money for a sleek design phone, and just don't drop it. So Neil deGrasse Tyson actually had a good tip, because he's another person that doesn't use a phone case. There's a certain echelon of person who can handle a phone with no case. And he's like, first day you get your phone, just start flipping it through your fingers and stuff. You get the muscle memory, and you're not going to drop it. Then you add the pop socket. You're good.
Well, I dropped my phone. I have to have a military grade phone case.
I mean, I definitely have cracked every phone that I've had, but not within, like it's been good enough that like, oh, for the last 6 months before I'm getting an upgrade, there's a crack on the screen, but everything works.
Yeah.
I mean, they make it with Gorilla Glass as long as you're not. The biggest thing was learning to stop putting my phone on my lap, and especially in the car. I put my phone on my lap, and I forget, and I get up, and then it falls. And so I consciously, every time I put my phone up, and nope, going in the cup holder, and now I didn't the way, for whatever reason, the mounts that are meant to go on your dashboard, they just don't stick to my my dashboard. So like, I wish I had my phone like right here, especially since I drive a lot for work. But I have to use one of the cup holder ones. So I'm driving, I'm gonna constantly be looking down. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I wanted to try these square cases out, and I actually really like them. But I like cases that have the rubber edging, because what I'll do is I'll put it face down with the rubber down, and it doesn't move.
Right. Yeah.
And then everyone thinks I'm like trying to hide stuff on my phone. I'm like, no, I just don't want it to fall off, because it will.
Well, I mean, who gives a shit? It's my phone. What you need to see about my phone? Don't worry about
it. Vam said, think about getting heart tests, because heart disease is a thing, especially post the vid.
I just got, it was bad because I hadn't been to the doctor since like the pediatrician. And so like a month ago, I went to get, I went to doctor, blood work, all that stuff. And it said everything was fine.
Yeah, mine's all fine. I did not get the thing.
Me neither. Pure blood.
Pure blood. Woo. Wait, I have that sound. Where is it?
Put a 1 in the chat if you're a pure blood.
That is so fetch.
That's not the sound I was looking for, but it'll work. Where is my DJ horn? Yeah, I have that.
Before I had the Stream Deck, I used to I immediately, just naturally, by virtue of I don't know, it just naturally came out when people would come into the chat. I'd just, hey, welcome, or and this was before before it was monetized, where I was getting super chats or anything. It's just like, oh, Zio's a pure blood. And that's the other thing, is that because I listen to YouTube so quickly, that to me that sounds like it's too slow. It's like that's how I usually hear it, because I'm listening to everything at 2 times speed.
Well, I've had a Stream Deck for ever, and I was using it for transitions instead of like sounds, but now I've uploaded like a bunch of sounds on it, and
Nice.
I'm continuing to, because I've run out of space on my Go XLR. So, and it's fun because like you can put little pictures on it.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So like some of these have GIFs.
They
as a
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna change all mine.
I
That might be
know.
distracting to have them all like, but yeah, like for I have like a Hank Hill saying loser.
Loser.
Picture of Hank Hill.
Like I have
Beta.
the GIF from
Oh my god, that is funny!
from Billy Madison, and then I've
Swing. Swing.
and then the other GIF as Romy Michelle, and she's like, oh, shut up.
Shut up.
I don't think I've ever seen that either.
A lot of people haven't, but it is one of my probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. It's just silly. It's just a silly movie. It just really is.
It's
I
just
love it.
what is it, an 80s like rom-com?
No, it came out in the 90s. It's Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow, and they're two very, very dumb blondes, but they
I'm in. You had me at dumb blondes.
so it shows in the beginning they live in LA and they like make their own clothes, and one of them doesn't have a job, the other one has a kind of crummy job, and then they find out that their high school is having their 10-year high school reunion because they run into somebody from high school who also lives in LA, and this person tells them about the reunion. So now it's like them trying to come up with this elaborate story to tell everyone from high school about how they moved from Tucson to LA, but they don't want to come off as the losers that they were in high school. They want to be cool.
It's coming of age story.
They like make up this story that they invented Post-its.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you go to your high school reunion?
I did.
Me too. How was
It was lame.
I mean, mine was too, from what I remember, and for as long as I was there.
Yeah.
But that was like probably the second time ever I had an open bar, and I was in my whiskey stage, and they didn't have shots, so they were just pouring like they would do like a neat pour. And so, you're showing up, all these people are like, yo, we gotta take a shot. We gotta take a shot. I probably had like 7 shots within an hour. That's an exaggeration. Not really though. Maybe 5. And the last one, I threw, I took the shot.
Yeah.
And it came right back up. And I was just like, oh no.
Oh no.
Like, all over. And I'm not that guy. I am because I'll get sick, pretty often. I'm a small dude. All my friends are degenerates. So, I had to keep up. I've gotten sick very many times. So I've gotten good at learning my body. And I can be, I can be messed up and be like, oh, I'm going to puke in like 5 minutes. As long as there's a bathroom around, I'll be good. Oh, it's fine. And it just like, it was one of those where my body was just like, nope.
It had too much. It was just instant rejection. No, mine.
Oh, and then real quick, the next week, the bartender from the reunion, like she was working at the venue. She came into my restaurant where I was working at the time.
Oh God!
And she sat at my table. I'm like, oh God, oh no.
And she was like,
no. I mean, this is before I had long hair, but I mean, I'm also, how many 5'4" dudes do you know? And so I tried to play it cool, and she was there with some dude, took their drink order, brought their drinks out, took the appetizers and whatever, brought the appetizer out, and the dude, who I didn't know, he happened to be in the bathroom. And so I drop off the appetizer. I'm like, anything else I can get for you? She's like, I know who you are, right? I'm like, God damn it. And she's like, it's cool. The guy that I'm here with, he had to clean up your puke. I'm like, oh. I'm like, hey, bro, if you want to, when he came back, I was like, yeah, I apologize. You want to puke over here? I got that.
So I do have 2 funny, that don't involve me, but they're 2 funny puke stories. But so my high school reunion was lame. I will say I did go to a very nice high school in Birmingham, and I was not a rich kid, but I went to school with a lot of rich kids. And you would have thought that these people that were the rich kids planning the 10-year reunion would have, picked a
nice place,
a nicer place. And they picked this brewery, and they got Domino's pizza and beer.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And I was just, me and one of my best friends from high school, he's gay, and like, we walked, we were both like, I'm not going unless you go. And he's like, I'm not going unless you go. I'm like, okay, so we're going? And he's like, I guess we're going. So we went, and like we walk in, and we immediately like did this thing where like you walk in the door, you scan the room, and then you like both turn around together, and you're like, what do we do? Do we leave? Do we stay? We stayed. And we did have like a good time. And bye Zio. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, we're good one, brother.
Love you.
Pure blood.
Pure blood. But yeah, we had a good time. Okay, so the two funny puke stories. One, the guy that just walked in with Kevin, Barry, he plays bass and he is in our band. And
I didn't get a band.
yeah.
Did I know you had a band?
Yeah, I played those videos for you the other night.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't in the promo video, but we were playing at this place. Oh god, this entire night was just a shitstorm. So we were playing at this place called Rhythm and Brews in Meridian, Mississippi. And if you're like, where the fuck is Meridian? Don't even worry about it because it's the shithole of America.
Mississippi.
And this was like kind of right when we first started, and we were playing current pop hits, and no one could comprehend it. It was like ahead of its time. No one was like, wait, I just heard this on the radio and now you're playing it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But also Meridian is like still stuck in 2003. So all they listen to is like Tool and Disturbed. So
oh God.
and Wear Affliction and Ed Hardy jeans, and you're like, oh, that's okay, got it. We're good. So we were playing, and our banner behind us had our logo on it. We were called Dirty Pop at the time. And it was a Unipegarex. Okay, let me see if I can find a Facebook. Because you're like, huh? It was designed by Barry's twin brother.
Ooh.
And hold on, let's see.
I was in a couple bands. I played drums in a band in it was like 8th, 9th grade, and then we kind of had a different. It was two of the same guys, and then I was the vocalist for like a hardcore band.
What?
Yeah, and I mean, we recorded a demo right before we graduated, and my whole thing was like I was super into music at that time, and I was hoping that like, okay, now that I have this demo, I'll go to college and be like, hey guys, I do this. Does anybody want to make a band? And didn't happen.
That thing.
What do we got here? Oh, interesting.
A Unipegarex.
Unique. Definitely unique.
So we had that, like, we hand painted it onto a sheet, and that was like our banner. And no one was paying any attention to us at this bar. Like, they were at tables, they had their backs turned to us.
That one.
And it was probably the middle of the first set, and I'm like, fuck this. And like, I never would really get like super dirty or like potty mouth on stage at all. It just depended on where we were. So anyway, no one's paying us any attention. And I just go, all right, you see this thing behind us? That's our fucking mascot, the Unipegarex. And if you guys don't start paying us attention, it's gonna just rock all over your fucking faces.
Oh my God. I would have paid attention. I would have been like, you got my attention.
You could have heard a pin drop. It was like, and Kevin was on the drums and he just went, oh no.
That's the only way to recover from that. You just got to go right in.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she planned that.
I mean, it was just one of those shows where like no one there gave a shit, so therefore we didn't give a shit. So like one of our guitar players, Eric, we all had wireless systems, and so he just like got off stage and went and took a piss, still playing guitar, and then came back. Okay. So this is all in the same night. So after we get done playing, we, load out and we're sitting there and like one of the bartenders is absolutely crazy. He's nuts. And he's going on and on and on about doing Molly and like taking all these drugs. And like, he's like, you guys want some Molly? I'll give you some Molly. I'll give you some Molly. We're like, no, we're good. We're good. And then he's like telling us about this shot he makes. Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of a bar mat shot.
I think I have. Is that when you, no, what is it? Remind me.
No, you're onto something.
When all the extra drinks that go into the, oh God.
Yeah. So
Pay me enough.
He tricked us. Luckily, Kevin saw what he was doing. And
he tried to serve you that without your knowledge that what it was.
Oh yeah, he was like trying to trick us and like acting like he was pouring all these bottles into this one cup, where really he had taken the bar mat and poured it into the cup. And Kevin like acted like he was gonna take a sip, but he knew what it was, and he like immediately started gagging, and he smelled it, and he's like, "Oh man, absolutely not! I can't drink that kind of liquor. No way, man!" And he did not give it to me. He just put it down the bar, and Barry was drunk as shit. Barry goes, "What is that?" And Kevin's like, "Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it."
Certain kind of what is that? Where it's like, I'm not asking what it is. I'm telling you to give it to me.
And then Barry was like, "I'll do it," and he just like grabbed it. It was like slow motion. We were all like, "No!" And he did it, and it was immediate, just vom. But like we didn't hear him at all. He just like was right by the garbage can, and he just was like took it, and he just goes.
Yeah. That's how. Well, except for alcohol, but like when I get sick on, if I'm doing other stuffs, like I don't really do drugs like that. But I will do like I'll do Somali or this is tobacco in case anybody is wondering. But like some Molly or some acid or some shrooms, I will puke every single time. But it's not like I don't like feel sick. It's just like, oh, here it comes, and then we're good. It's the alcohol that the next morning it just in the pit of my stomach for the entire day. It's just like, oh, I want to die. I don't know why. It's just I don't like even what was it, the day after Dissident Dialogues, because there was the the after party there where I got to meet Alex O'Connor and Thomas Sheedy of Atheists for Liberty, and we were drinking, and again I was drinking wine, but I watered it down because again, especially if I'm like out and about and talking to people, I'm certainly not going to be paying attention to how much I'm drinking. And they didn't have any good beers I liked, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just have some wine with a little bit of water it down a little bit.
I'm like, water it down a little bit.
And I still got, I didn't throw up, but I still felt like crap the entire next day. I probably had the equivalent of like 4 glasses over the entire day. It's
the sugar. It's something about the older we get, like the lower the threshold for like the sugary stuff. That's how I feel. I was at a dance bar where the shooter special was all the leftover drinks emptied into a pitcher, then with blue curacao added for color. Gross. There was this place we used to play at Fort Walton Beach in Florida called The Swamp, and they had bucket drinks that came in a bucket. And like
a fishbowl.
Oh man, these people would get so messed up. It was fun though. It was really fun.
Speaking of getting fucked up, have you ever seen THC tincture like that?
No.
This I already took some, but this is when it was full, like that full.
Is it drop?
Yeah, and just pure THC. The whole thing would be 2,000 milligrams. So it'd be like.
You just do like a little drop.
Yeah,
Right.
like I'll probably 2,000 milligrams, and I'll probably use it like 4 or 5 times, depending. No,
Dang.
like 6 or 7 times, depending. But I only use it at night. I can't do edibles like that during the day. No way.
Yeah, I'm a night timer.
I mean, I miss the days when I could just be high all day. I miss those days, but I can't do it. I can't get stuff done, and then every other day I'm recording or streaming. I mean, um, you know,
No, I can't. Like I would be worthless. I really would.
well then at least when at night, then I have no issues about it's just falling asleep. So I'll have some extract, and I'll take little flakes of it. Like this would be like dabs, and I take a little bit and sprinkle them throughout the joint so that it's a little stronger.
A little stronger. Little stronger.
It's a little stronger over here.
Yeah.
I was like the it's not really a joke, but Bill Burr on his podcast was talking. He was talking about he's from Boston and the Boston accent and everything, and he's like, man, I really lost it. I was out there for a show, and this guy was talking to me. I had no idea what he was saying. Like he was like, hey Bill, Joe over here, or hey Bill, Jube over here. What? Jube over here. Pardon? Jube over here? And the guy saying, did you Uber over here? Jube over here?
I mean, that's essentially what people from way south Louisiana is like. You can't understand a damn thing they say. At all. They're like,
Jube over here?
Are you gonna go down by that bayou? You're gonna go down by that bayou?
What's your least favorite accent?
Probably like Minnesota.
Minnesota? Don't you know?
Yeah, I just find them to be really nasally and really annoying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, aside from like the typical like Valley Girl up talk, like it's like a question, even though it's not a question.
Everything is an inflection and it ends in a question, and you're like, and everything is a run-on sentence, and you just like don't even know when they're gonna stop talking, and because they just say and like yeah.
Well, shout out to Nick Luchetti, a pillar of the Indian Jesus community. He's so funny. He talks rather slow, and he never pauses at the end of sentences. He'll pause in the middle. And so, like, we'll all be, like, in the after party. And I'll be like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because, like, we could think about the different ways to approach it. But, it's never going to be the same thing we want. And it's like, bro, where are you going? Where are you going? And, Nick, if you're watching, I love you. But you never do it.
Well, being from the South, we talk slow.
Yeah, I remember. Are you familiar with the Lead Attorney?
No.
Channel? He's a retired divorce attorney who does mainly live streams. He actually that just for the sake of how good he is at like storytelling and talking and stuff, should check him out. But I forgot why I brought him up. What were we
slow talking.
Oh yeah. So he's from Atlanta, and I cannot watch him live because it sounds like it's like say it.
Yeah. So there's this podcast called Real Life, Real Crime, and it's the host is Woody Overton, and he's from he's from Livingston Parish, Louisiana, which is a little outside of Baton Rouge, and I actually enjoy listening to him talk, but he does talk really slow. But he just recently added another co-host, and I cannot listen to those episodes that this guy is on because he has one of those accents that like really draws out the O's and the
Down in the
A's.
bayou.
He like draws it. No, this is just straight up redneck. This is not Louisiana, like coon ass is what they call them. The Cajun coon ass. But this is like, I cannot do it. It's just straight up long, drawn out. On today's story, we're going to be talking about the prison down in Livingston Parish. And I'm like, bruh, spit it out.
Yep.
It sounds like the guy from Looney Tunes, the sheriff. Scottish. Let's see. Not a health expert by all means, but I noticed people really beat themselves up if they falter on their diet, and I was like, that I do chill method on my diet, and that helped a lot.
Consistency is key. Consistency is key.
Yes. Forrest Gump level. Forrest Gump. Yeah.
There was they did what I had planned to do for my stream was cover the Jubilee thing that just came out of jacked guys versus fat guys. You know how they do middle ground, and it's one of those things where it's like they have a prompt and they have two groups of people.
Yeah.
And so like if you agree with the prompt, then you come forward and they'll start talking, and then they'll bring in the disagreeers. And Myron from Fresh and Fit was on.
Oh God.
And it was so
all you had to say was Myron from Fresh and Fit, and I would roll my eyes.
It was so cringe, but it was interesting because, you know, when you're used to talking to, you know, like girls about like dating that aren't prepared to, you know, understand what the hell you're saying, then, you know, you could rattle off whatever. But, you know, they got into like talking about body positivity movement, and like, yeah, obviously it sounds good to be like, oh, that shit's gay, whatever. But the guys on the fat side were saying like, I do work out, and I got, you know, for a long time I didn't work out because I felt shamed, and so obviously saying Lizzo's beautiful is one thing. You know, that's a little much, but you know, the idea of just not hating yourself because of the way you look is important. He's just like, no, you're a fat loser, and you know, if you're I mean, just exactly what you think he would say.
And that's kind of like what me and my friend Nikki touched on earlier today is, you know, it's easy for some people to just go, well, you're a fat slob, you just lose weight. Just change your lifestyle, just change how you eat, go exercise. Like, you're just being lazy. And at some point, yes, they are kind of, some of them are kind of being lazy, but like, do you really think looking at someone the way Myron talked to that person is going to help?
Exactly. Right.
No, it's not going to help at all.
That's exactly what one of the guys who was like, he was a bigger dude in terms of like dad bod, but he wasn't like
obese.
Yeah,
he was like slightly overweight.
Yeah. And that was essentially his story, is that like he never he was always a bigger kid and just assumed that, you know, he couldn't do it, and it wasn't until somebody, you know, the influencers that he follows were the ones that were talking not about, oh, you're a loser and you got to get women, but no, I want to be alive for my daughter kind of stuff. And
yeah.
I you know, that's certainly, you know, again, like I'm definitely in the camp that would make fun of body positivity and all that stuff, but only because of the degree that it's gone to. Like, obviously, I think it's a important thing for people to understand the totality of what you are doing when you're letting your body go that much.
Yeah, my friend Nikki, the health coach and a fitness trainer, and she said it's what all it boils down to is a lack of education, and people just not knowing the basics. She goes, it's so basic, but people try to overcomplicate it, and it runs fear through them that they can't do it. But it's honestly so basic, and you can start with the basics and then grow from there. My issue is the glorification and the praising of these bodies that are in fact not beautiful. Do we have to?
Maybe you
Do
got a
we have
clue.
to?
Maybe
Do
you
we
got a
have to
clue.
say that? Do we have to be like, this is not beautiful?
Apparently,
No,
apparently.
but we also don't have to say what we don't really mean.
Yeah, but there's also an aspect of like the female nature of like in a social setting. It's
Words of
more,
affirmation.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so like on like a Fresh and Fit or whatever podcast type of a situation, like if they were to say rate yourself and they all say I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, then if a girl's gonna be like, well, I think I'm a 7, then they are all, because of the fact that they know they're not 10s, maybe even subconsciously they know they're not all 10s, but it works as long as everybody has a united front. And so when the one girl is being honest and says, no, I'm a 7, well, now that's a hard comparison, especially if you are objectively, less attractive than that girl, and you're saying that I'm a 10, and she's saying she's a 7, but she's more attractive than me. Like, the math ain't mathin'.
To me, if a well, let's just face it, any of the girls that go on the whatever Fresh and Fit podcast and say they're a 10, those girls are not 10s at all. But to me, the message that they're trying to convey and portray by saying, oh, I'm a 10, it's like, oh, I'm beautiful, and I have so much confidence, so therefore I feel like I'm a 10.
Yep.
And
100%.
that's the message that they're trying to say to their audience. But it's like, no, actually, this is having the reverse effect. It's actually making you very unattractive right now that you think that you are a 10, when in fact you're not. And it's very conceited, and that's a very unattractive trait.
Yeah, self-awareness is attractive.
Is
Feminism gonna feminism.
yeah. Well, apparently all women are feminists now, didn't you know?
Yeah.
Every single woman is a feminist just because we're a woman. I do 2 meal replacement shakes, and not a fan of snacking, but I just do 1 or 2 health snacking. Think it a cal deficit. I don't know the name. Just works best for me. Very easy to follow diet, just boring at times. Yeah. Calorie deficit is the best way to lose weight and maintain weight.
Yeah, and I mean, boring is good, because when it comes to a diet, you don't want to, be like a lot of things, or a lot of people rather. I think an issue, among others, is the relationship that they have to food, and so like I come from the opposite side of the spectrum, which this is absolutely an excuse, but it's my excuse, that all of the fitness messaging is about don't be fat, don't be fat, don't be fat, justifiably. But I've never, ever, 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 ever worried about being fat. And so as much as I know that I am significantly less attractive, less healthy, less, everything by not having a workout routine, it's just like, oh shit, I'm just spilling weed all over the place. And it's just difficult to find the motivation, and it's difficult to find other people who can understand. I was just that same Jubilee video I was talking about, the jack guys versus fat guys. There was one dude who was an Asian dude, 5'6". I mean, he wasn't jacked, but he was, filled out. And I was like, oh, let me go see what's good. Maybe this guy had, similar type of issues with me, and coming from the skinny side. Nope, he was just a short, fat guy.
Well, you also don't see a whole lot of messaging or motivating marketing efforts towards people that have a super high metabolism and can't gain weight. Right. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of marketing effort towards that. But because that's not an epidemic like obesity is. So I understand that, but it would be nice to see both ends of the spectrum as far as like,
I mean, I don't even care, like, as far as like social representation. I don't give a shit about that. I just like I want to find somebody who is has a skinny. They don't even need to be short, but just like skinny, where the issue is eating enough, getting enough calories in. Like WC was bringing up the shakes. Like sometimes a protein shake with a scoop of peanut butter, 2 scoops of powder. Many days, that's all I ingest.
Mm-hmm. Is it because you're just not hungry?
Yeah, I don't get hungry, and I don't know. I'm not as active as I was when I was younger, but I'm a dog trainer. It's not like I'm inactive.
Right.
I have to force myself to and then with the because I'm driving all the time. Whenever I'm not working, I'm just like getting back to my bed, and so
you're tired.
Yeah, the last like month or so, I've been on bare bones groceries, and so not eating. So then it's like, okay, do I want to eat like a can of soup with some pasta in it, or order a pizza?
Yeah.
Or just make a shake and not worry about it.
Yeah,
I just got food yesterday, so we're good.
Wait, he said all the cute on the podcast. All the cute girls would be a 3 to 5, and all the large ladies will be a 9 or 10. Well, yeah, because we've been telling them
dress sizes.
We've been telling them that they are, apparently. Oral satisfaction is more important than nutrition to far too many. The line of what women want. I remember this scene. It is pretty sad. This girl opens the fridge and she's thinking she's not in there.
I've seen that movie, and
that's on my list.
It's on your what?
It's on my list
to
cover. To cover as far as like.
Oh, there you go.
Like misogyny and like.
All right, so we doing that tomorrow? Or what?
Sure, we can cover that tomorrow. What women want?
Yeah, I think that, because that definitely that's a great thing to as a jumping off point. There's so much we could talk about. Then it has the the content of the movie itself. I think that was from like 2005 or something like that.
Oh gosh, I think it came out sooner than that, or earlier than that. Let's see.
I want to say 2003, 2005.
2000.
Damn. Yeah. So culture is just very, very different. Here, everybody can watch you. Eating.
Oh, bubbles. Oh, is it good? That's sweet. Oh, I am fading. But yeah, if you want to cover that tomorrow, I am down.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll turn it on when I go to sleep tonight.
There you go.
Maybe that thing that people say, like when you like listen to things or like watch things while you're sleeping, that supposedly like transplants itself into your brain. You never heard this before?
Yeah. I just didn't know where you're going. I don't know how. I have the weirdest dreaming habits. I don't, because I always have my sleepy time sitcoms, like between How I Met Your Mother, The Office, Parks and Rec, Community, shows like that I've seen a million times, so that I can just put it on and not worry about like trying to keep my eyes open to watch it, and just listen to it and kind of fade off. But
oftentimes, like
I don't remember.
I have to turn on something that I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows here that I do smoke the weed to go to sleep.
How dare! That's not on my tune.
That's all. That's all. I have to do that to go to sleep. I have tried all kinds of things. I've tried melatonin. I have tried a sleeping prescription drug. I
have the answer.
Nothing works
I
for
have
me.
the answer. Have you tried these?
No.
Nature made like They're these big ass things. They're like these big ass.
Oh.
And it's so it has melatonin in it, but like yeah, I would try melatonin and like it didn't do jack.
Didn't do anything.
So there's
It
a
would just
layer
make
of-
me groggy.
Yeah. There's a layer of melatonin that is supposed to help you fall asleep. Then there's a proprietary calm mind blend with L-theanine and GABA, and then it's in the layer, so it's time release. And the best thing about it, because again, when I was on probation, I wasn't smoking. Like I would drink myself to sleep if I could, but you know sometimes it didn't work, or I'd get sick or whatever. I would take Benadryl and just take 2 or 3 Benadryl and be out. But then the next morning I'm groggy as all hell.
Yeah.
This stuff is magic. It
You just take one?
Yeah, I just take one. It knocks you out, and then it's like even if you want to sleep for 8 hours, more than 8 hours, you can't because it'll just be like, nope, you're up, and it's so crazy. I don't know.
Vamp? Oh my god!
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Okay, well, we know what you're doing tonight to go to sleep. No, I have to do that to go to sleep. So
No, you and Vamp alike, huh?
no, not that. Not that. The weed. Yeah, I have a pen and I will hit it and then go to can't argue success.
These are great. The disposable vapes. They're so convenient. Like, cause do I have it over here? Like the.
Well, it's not legal here.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, I could.
I might we'll talk.
If and when because usually it's the cartridges for a vape that you get the battery and then I don't know
Yeah, that's what I have.
and they're okay, but they get clogged up and they like whatever.
Yeah.
Whether it's Ghost or like the Pac-Man.
I think I have a Ghost one, but
Yeah,
it's smaller than that. Mine looks like a Sour Patch Kid. Well, I do that to go to sleep. And
No, what?
yes, I want the Coffee Crisp chocolate bars, please. Oh boy, here he goes. So when I turn on something at night, I have to have something that I have never seen before. And sometimes we'll turn on
Something you have seen before.
something I have seen before like a million times. Because if it's something I haven't, then I'll sit up and be like, stoned, just like. And the best thing, if you like do want to do that, you want to stay up and like watch something mesmerizing. There's this guy on YouTube, and it's kind of like ASMR, which I cannot stand, but he refurbishes really old stuff. He will take, like, for instance, an old Atari that is like rusted, and he like makes it come back to life, and it's amazing. And I'll sit there and be like, I think it was the Atari video. I was laying in bed, I was watching it, and then I'm like, there's no way. Just like,
you stayed up for the whole thing?
Yeah. I was like this. Like, there's no way. There's no way. And then he like finished and plugged it in and turned it on. I was like, oh! I just went, he fucking did it. He fucking did it.
Oh, it's like, whoa, man. Cool.
I was like, he did it. He fucking did it. We have 100s of vape stores too, and the hundreds of pot stores, and the 100s of liquor stores. Guess where the government gets money? Yeah, I don't know why Tennessee is not on that bandwagon yet, but it could be something along with this no state income tax. I don't know. Yeah.
See, I gotta. That's. I gotta think about that in my list of when I move. I've been saying warm weather. I mean, honestly, if I could get an environment like that, I'd be willing to pay more taxes, but not really. But I always say warm weather, recreational cannabis, and constitutional carry. So
We have 2 out of the 3.
yeah, but
The no state income tax
is the top. But that is, that is definitely something. Like I'm curious with the sales taxes in Arizona. If they don't have a sales tax in Arizona, it's a done deal. That's 4 out of 3. Not only they have all 3, but it would be awesome.
As hot as balls
Delaware.
there.
Yeah, I know Delaware doesn't have
Delaware.
Sales tax.
I'm in Delaware. That's from Wayne's World.
A sphincter says what?
Okay, well, I am going to get myself ready for bed. Tomorrow, are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we? Okay, so we're gonna live
What
stream
women
tomorrow
want?
on inkjet's thermal inkjet printers.
What she means is Lux, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be live talking about what women want, both the movie and IRL. So,
That's
the
right.
Indian Jesus official, and you can follow me on socials right there at Indian Jesus off, like official, and it's gonna be a good time.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be up. So it's 7 p.m. Central if you're in Central Time, and then 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night. Hey, thanks for hopping on tonight. That was fun. That was so fun. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm elated.
Well, thank you for having me. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. Go follow the Indian Jesus. It's right there on the screen. I think it's that across the board, right? TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The only thing is, YouTube is just at the Indian Jesus official, and then all my socials are at Indian Jesus off here.
Perfect. All right, friends.
Yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Take care.
Bye. All right, friends. I am going to hit the hay. But I appreciate all of you being here tonight. And if you don't follow me on the socials yet, they're all at the top of the screen. Right there. Right there.
That's all.
That's all. Follow me, and I'll see you again tomorrow night with the Indian Jesus at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Fabulous. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you again to my friend Nikki, who hopped on earlier and talked more about fitness and the body positivity movement and all that. I will actually download the episode, chop it up, and we'll put it out. Actually, probably put it out on Tuesday. Why not? Have some extra time to edit some stuff, or maybe I'll put it out tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll actually put it out tomorrow, and give me some more editing time to do all the fun stuff that I need to do. So. Try a sleep aid cure idea. You're bad. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow night on the Indian Jesus YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Oh, someone wants to come say bye. Come on. Oh, just kidding. Run away. That's fine. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow.